Welcome to ETN Community Spotlight, where we shine the light on a local nonprofit organization. I'm Derrick Silas. Join me as we talk to today's special guest. Chip, I was reading the website and it says the mission of Bennies Barn is to provide comprehensive therapy programs for individuals utilizing horses to facilitate trust, learning, and healing. And this is geared to the people in northwestern Oklahoma. Can you tell me a little bit more about the purpose and how did this all get started? Tell me about the history.
The history is we actually named our barn after the late Bennie Mullins. That's why we called it Bennies Barn. Bennie was a rescuer of humans and animals alike. My wife and I being ones that she helped rescue. You know, we had lost everything in Texas. We moved back to town. Didn't really have anything, and Bennie actually gave my wife her first job and actually gave me my first job back, helping her take care of the farm animals and a lot of the ones she rescued out there. You know, Bennie taught us a lot of lessons and was a huge heartbeat of this community. She was a huge advocate for Enid and surrounding everybody that knew Bennie loved Bennie. She was just a lot of fun, and when she passed, it kind of left a hole in what I think the heart of the community and also kind of in our family, you know, and we mourned her quite a bit. And then after a while, it just kind of came to the point where it was, you know what, instead of mourning Bennie, let's do something to honor Bennie. So therefore we started Bennies Barn. It came to us of kind of an animal rescue / we wanted to do something to help this community. We wanted to do something to leave it better than what we found it. You know, especially for our children and everybody else's children and adults alike, you know. If they were struggling with something, we found that through horses and being able to talk to a horse and not have the judgment backlash and just do something different outside of your comfort zone would actually benefit you, benefit us, benefit everybody. This journey that, you know, we're on has benefited my family along with so many other families in the community, have just given a different, you know, a different idea, a different area, a different concept of how your children or adults even can deal with issues that they may have never really thought about dealing with. Or, you know, they're looking for that one extra push to help their child get from, you know, not talking to actually uttering its first 3 words, or, you know, not walking to, we got to watch a child take his first 3 steps. You know, we've had children come in to where one child we got was a recommendation from OU Medical. He had spina bifida, he was partially paralyzed, and he had no core strength or anything, couldn't sit up on his own, couldn't do anything. If he actually sat up, he would fall over. After riding him for, I think it was about a month, we noticed he started leaning back onto the saddle. And we actually got to watch him now. He does full-on sit-ups. We just found out the other day after his parents came out, he's now at home doing pull-ups, which never would have been possible without, you know, some form of therapy that we provide. Being on a horse and being with your best friend and being in control of your life at that moment, which some people may not be in control or not feel in control. When you can control anywhere from a, you know, 1,100-pound animal to a 1,600-pound animal, and you're the one telling this animal what to do. You're in control of your life. You're in control of what's going on at that point. And that's what we stress is grab control, grab a hold of your life, you know, make it better for you. And we just help guide those children and those adults to find that guidance, you know, and we help them through those things. We're there for them. We talk to them. We're not a traditional therapy setting per se. You know, we don't sit there and, you know, sit across from each other and discuss it, but we're playing games. You know, if you're having trouble with your hands and movements, we'll actually play a game where you have to pick stuff up or move things or just move one digit at a time. And we take those, you know, great little things, whether it's 1 digit. It's a great accomplishment that day. And we praise that child for that. You know, we praise them and, you know, kind of go from there. And every day we see where that influences them to do better and strive harder and you know, just work. We have some children that have never gone to school before. We have one now that she never went to school. She, you know, suffered from PTSD really bad, and now she's in school with solid A's and B's. So we like to take that and just help, like we said, give back to the community. We feel like we need to leave it better than we found it.
Merity's been doing this for about 8 weeks, 10 weeks. She has had problems in her left hip, and the doctor suggested that we do some hippotherapy, and we were fortunate enough to find Bennie's Barn, and she has been able to improve her gap, and she's also been able to improve her hand coordination, her strengthen in her core, which, her back muscles and her trunk muscles really have helped her with just fighting the cerebral palsy.
Now, in your role as executive director, tell me a little bit about what you do, and tell me, how did you get into this? I mean, were you already riding horses or therapy with horses?
I am the executive director. I see everyday operations, make sure our horses are taken care of, make sure feed, vets are scheduled, grant writing's done, a lot of our marketing, we get some help with that. But just the overall day-to-day and maintenance of the property is where I take over, and then I get to help with some of the therapy lessons when we actually get done with that. That's actually my favorite part, and if I'm not there for a couple of days, it really is, kind of, I don't want to say frustrating, but you really need to be there to be with those kids and enjoy it, because it brightens your day so much when you get to start a day and watch a child walk in with the largest smile you've ever seen, and you ask them, what's your favorite thing? What do you want to do all week? What do you look forward to? And whether they can talk or not, they point at a horse. They will yell, hey, we love it here. And kids come out all the time, I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question?
I was wanting to know more about how did you get into this?
I've always been into horses since an early age. Actually, my mom used to barrel race when she was younger. So what it was I was always the guy that got to take care of the horses. We got to play a little bit, but I got to take care of the horses, and I got to see, the back end of it. And I got to go in when a horse was done doing something for the day and brush them down, feed them, make sure they had all their water, make sure that everything with them, they were all healthy, kind of go over that. And by doing that, I got to learn, and I got to see that, hey, that's somebody I can talk to at the end of the day. That's somebody I can confide in that, is not going to judge me. That animal's there for me. And then you start to see that these animals are, when you look in their eyes, they're windows to the soul. If I'm frustrated, that horse will be frustrated. If I'm angry, that horse is going to actually act out. But if I'm calm and I'm collective and, I go in and just, an all-around nice person and sweet to this horse, that horse reciprocates that same feeling. And that's what I try to tell people is, these are the windows to the soul. So when you actually see this and you come in frustrated, that horse is going to feel that. And that's just another thing that I got to see, and what helped us transition when we founded Bennie's Barn into, I already knew the personal effects of what it could do. Along with our path instructor, Keith Saragusa, he got to see what, he was doing something completely different at the time. And then we just merged our two things, and, God has opened more doors for us than we ever even thought imaginary. And, everything we do, and we tell people, they're like, you guys are amazing. How do you guys do this? We don't do anything. We're God's vessels, and we do His work. And we feel like as long as we keep that mentality and that faith, that we do get, the success that we have. We've had, counselors walk in and be like, what are you guys doing? I'm sorry, did we do something wrong? No, sir, you've been working with this child for 2 months. I've been trying to do this for 2.5 years. And that's what we say. We're not here to counsel anybody. We're not here to do anything. We are horse guys that know how to work horses and adapt them to a child and make that horse work for that child. And through that, we're the vessel of God who, shows us what to do, and that's what we go with.
I think as a parent, we are very fortunate to find people in the community willing to donate, to get involved with these children here in society, and help them find a place that they can have an outlet, not only to enjoy riding horses and to learn that skill, but also allows them to have the therapy their bodies need, whether it's with autism, MS, cerebral palsy.
I can tell you're very passionate about what you do. How can others that may want to get involved, how can they get involved?
You can visit our website. We're actually putting our volunteer application on there. We'll have some short training videos coming up shortly. That is benniesbarn.org. You can email us at benniesbarnenid@hotmail.com, or at Gmail, at gmail.com. You can get on our Facebook page. And you can come through, or you can call me at 580-548-7258, and we can further get you out there and kind of show you what we do and find out where you may want to be. You know, we need everybody from somebody to just go grab the horses for each therapy lesson, show us how to saddle each horse, or show us how, go saddle the horses for each therapy lesson, just groom them down and do stall maintenance, you know, and washing of horses or watering and feeding of horses. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities as long as, you know, lead walking, side walking, you know, just talking to the kids, being a game facilitator for the kids. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities.
Okay. I know a lot of people in the Enid community may think this is a new type of program, but it has been going around for a while. So tell us a little bit about how you've seen this in other communities, or how it has, you know, how it impacts our community as well.
You know, we visited several horse therapy ranches before we even brought it to Enid. You know, we did a lot of research into it and how to get it going. You know, one thing is we've actually had a referral from OU Medical. OU Medical referred us to a child that I spoke about earlier that couldn't sit up, you know, or do anything, and was partially paralyzed. We have another child that now rides with us who used to go to New Mexico 2 times a year. This child, you know, her movement specialist down in Fort Worth actually recommended for her to come to Bennie's Barn and receive a form of the HIPAA therapy that we do that's going to be great for her function and movement and motor skills.
Okay. I know it takes a lot of money to run a nonprofit, and outside of cash, I know there are other things that may be needed, you know. So what other ways can people help the cause?
You know, help with vet bills. Help with vet bills, feed costs is always a big deal. And you know, in other ways that people don't see is we go out and every one of our kids, we always have snacks for them. So we always have snacks, popsicles, Lunchables, because that may be one of the only things some of those kids may get to eat that day, you know, that you don't really think about, but they always come out there. So we always try to have like a pizza for them, or, you know, some type of snack that they could take away and they could eat, and we know at least they're getting something. And that's also a reward when they get off the horse, is a popsicle.
Okay.
If they do a great job and they're you know, great students for us that day, we get popsicles. And, you know, it's just kind of, those are the different types that we do. We are, you know, we always do like to raise money for our children, because over 85% of our clients are on a scholarship program.
Okay.
You know, we don't charge much. We're one of the cheapest there are, where it's $32.50 an hour is what we charge, which is really just to keep the lights on. And through that, we've noticed that a lot of these kids and their parents are paying for so many different types of therapies for the child that, you know, they may not be able to afford even the $32.50 that we charge. So we've been trying to go out in the community and raise scholarship funds for these kids that, you know, we're not going to turn away either way, but it's nice to have them be able to come out and feel, you know, that this community is helping them. We've now partnered with the MS Society. We're one of the only horse therapy ranch in the tri-state area that actually is partners with the MS Society. We actually have used them, and some of the community funding that we've raised and grants that we've written. We are getting a new adaptive saddle. It's a 19-piece saddle, costs about $6,000, and it actually comes with arm braces, a headrest, a full backrest that's adjustable for each rider, and we can customize this saddle to anywhere from an adult to a small child that could ride independently that may not have otherwise been able to. We've also partnered with the Air Warrior Courage Foundation. Air Warrior Courage Foundation, if you are active military and your child has a form of a different ability, then the Air Warrior Courage Foundation, we actually send them an application and they approve who we can have, what stipulations go on each child, and then they will actually help fund a scholarship for active military parents.
Okay. Well, I think it's a good thing that you guys are doing, and I want to thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much.